All right, let's see if there is sound now. I'm sorry, I wanted to just get off and see if maybe getting off and getting back on helped the sound situation. So let me know if you're here, if you're popping in, let me know that we have sound. That would be great. I thought it was me this morning, but maybe it's Facebook Live today. Maybe Facebook Live is being touchy today. Lisa, can you hear me? You're the first person's name I see. So if you can hear me, hopefully my fingers are crossed. Can you hear me? Maybe I should write a Post-it note if anybody can't. You can you can give me hearts or thumbs up. Can you? We'll send like smoke signals. Hi, Tammy. Quick question. Can you hear me? Can you read my writing? You can hear me? Cool. You never know on these things. It's crazy. I can see 8 of you here. So if you're joining me for the first time, yay, everybody's loud and clear. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Deborah. Awesome. I'm so happy to have you here. If it's your first live video with me, if it's your first Facebook Live with me, please say hi so that I can give you a big shout out that this is your first time catching me actually live. That would be awesome. I'm so happy to have everyone here. Oh my gosh, my daughter's here. Hi, Maggie. Maggie, this is your very first Facebook live stream with your mom. Wow. How funny. My daughter's here. That's so cool. So if you can, everybody can hear me. First time, Deborah. Welcome, Deborah. I'm so happy to have you here. Awesome. I wanted to issue an apology. I thought, first of all, this is what this is about. It's about an apology to all of you and I want to talk to you really quickly about resilience. And why it's so important in your life and business. It's probably the most important skill that you can learn in life and business is how to be more resilient. And I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to tell you what steps you can take to be more resilient. And I got something really cool coming up. Hi, Colin. Is this your very first time on a Facebook Live with me? If it is, please say hello. Please say hi. Type first time. I don't care. Whatever. If it's your first time with me, I would love to know that so that I can give you a huge shout out. Because we've got a lot of first timers on here with me. And I'm so excited. Hi, Irene. So I want to get right to it. Let's get right to it. My apology to you this morning is if you caught my Facebook Live this morning, it was a few hours ago, I had gotten out of the gym and what had happened was I had started a Facebook live stream, the Bluetooth in my car was connected to my phone and I had the volume turned down on my music so that I could think and I could hear and I could talk to you all. And what happened was by having the volume down, no one could hear me and I had to disconnect the Bluetooth so that I could talk through these and you could actually hear me. So my apologies. So the one thing about Facebook Live, about live video, is there's no do-overs, right? There's no take 2, I messed up. It's live, raw, and real. Hi, Colin. Thanks for being here. Adam Maris, you're back. I hope you can hear me. So I apologize for that this morning. That was definitely my own technical error and something I actually learned. Like you can't have your phone Bluetooth to your car and have the volume turned down. Hi, Gina. Very nice to see you. Is this your first time with me? So if it's your first time, Gina, just say hi or say first time, whatever. I'd love to know. I've got several of you here. I've got 8 or 9 of you here. I'm so excited. So that's my apology. My apology is, and lesson learned, if you have your phone Bluetooth through your car, don't have the volume down because no one can hear you if you do a Facebook Live stream from your car. So if you watched that this morning, I did a Facebook Live from my car after I got out of the gym. The Facebook Live was called Don't Be a Jerk at the Gym. And it was some behavior that I observed this morning that I was like, there's something about giving the gym time 100% of your focus. And when you're multitasking, like having a phone call at the gym, like in the middle of the gym, like an actual like sales call, like loud and clear. Like I could hear the woman through my earbuds and every single word So that was that. So I don't want to go there, but that was my, I try to keep things positive and upbeat when I do these live videos. I try to keep them inspirational, motivational, and actionable. But today it was just like, oh my gosh, I have to sound off on this behavior, because I feel like it wasn't to rant in a negative way. It was like, let's shed light. Let's raise the bar on our manners and our behavior and being conscientious of others when we are around other people. And that was my point of it. It was like, let's raise the bar. So let's raise the bar on the behavior. And if I see the woman again, I've been thinking about how to politely like approach the topic with her, just so that she's aware that people don't want to hear her conversation. So I've been formulating in my mind what I can say to this woman without being a jerk back to her. So, so that's what's going on. And I couldn't think of anything to say at the time because I was so I was shocked and angry. So my apologies to you for the sound this morning, or the lack of sound. Next, I want to talk about really quickly. Hi, Karen, welcome back. Sorry about the sound. I had to shut it down and restart it. If it's your first time, I could see there's like 10 of you here. If it's your first time on your first live stream with me, then welcome. Say hello. Say it's your first time. I would love to give you a big shout out. Next, I want to talk to you about resilience. So, you know what's really interesting? The interesting thing, why do you need it? Why is it important to you? And how can you get more of it? Why it's important? Because resilient human beings are successful human beings, by whatever your definition of success is. So, leaders are resilient. They've learned to be resilient. I personally believe that resilience can be taught. If you want to learn it, it can be taught. And I've broken it down into a really simple 5-step framework to learn how to be more resilient. Whether you already are resilient, or you don't feel as strong or courageous, or you doubt yourself or not, you feel like, I feel pretty strong. You can always be more strong, right? Because life always has a way of testing us. So it is truly the most important, and the common denominator between leaders and successful people is resilience. And I do not believe that it's for the select few that make it. I don't believe that. I believe in I believe in human beings. I believe in the resilience of human beings. I believe in helping you bounce back. I believe in, if you're doubting yourself, maybe you don't have anything to bounce back from. Maybe you haven't, had any real trials in your life yet. Whether you have or you haven't, we can always flex this muscle and get stronger. So with that, that's why it's important, because resilient people are more successful. That's end of story. Whatever your version of success is, whether it's making more money, having more time with your kids, whatever it is, you got to be resilient. Secondly, how do you get it? So I'm going to give you the one little tidbit today, and then I want to share with you something that I've got going on this Wednesday. I've been super inspired. You're going to see multiple live stream videos from me this week, because I'm super jazzed up and motivated and inspired and on fire about this topic. And it's something I've been talking about forever. I wrote a #1 best-selling book last year. It went to #1 on Amazon in 8 hours about resilience. It's called Perspective. It's spelled wrong. It's P-U-R-S-E-P-S-R. I have to visualize. P-U-R-S-E-P-E-C-T-I-V-E. Perspective. From ruin to resilience. It's all about my journey through domestic violence and overcoming that to get my doctorate and all that stuff. That's not why you're tuning in. That's not why I'm here. I'm not here to talk about the book. I wrote a book about it, #1 bestseller. The more I dive into this, I've dove into this topic even more deeply over this past year, and have gotten to be more of an expert on resilience. And you know what? I broke it down into a really simple 5-step, what I call the DREAM framework. DREAM is an acronym for the steps that you have to take in order to be more resilient. because it's not something you can talk about. Resilience is not a word. It's not a noun. It's a verb. It requires action. It requires doing. It's why you bounce back after something. Maybe you had something launch and not go so well. Maybe you launched a product and it didn't sell as well. How to bounce back after that. Bouncing back takes actions. And so I've broken down what the steps you need to take. I'm going to give you one of those steps. Step number 1, the D. I'm going to give you the D today, and I'm going to talk about what I've got going on this Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. So the D, step number 1. Step number 1 in creating more resilience for yourself is to decide and commit. Okay? And that sounds really simple. Like, okay, yeah, I made a decision. Like, decide and commit on at least one thing in your life. And this is just, I'm giving you this one thing, just one thing. Decide and commit in one area of your life. In my program, in my coaching programs, we get into all aspects of your life. But for today, the purpose of today, pick one area that you want to improve upon. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's going to the gym and working out more. Whatever it is, decide and commit. And that doesn't mean intellectually, yeah, okay, I made a decision. I'm going to do it once and for all. It's a decision and a commitment that not only comes from hi Carol, that not only comes from a thought, logical, in your brain, and when I say in my brain up here, like my ego, it is coming from your soul, which is not from an ego place. It is from your soul. It is from a heart and soul, love, no fear kind of place where you're deciding and you're committing with every fiber of your being what you want to change from this moment forward. You make a decision and it's done. It's as if it's already done. And I'm going to share with you a story about this. So to kind of drive this point home, in 2002, May 21st, 2002, I left a really crazy situation. I was 1 year into chiropractic school, really crazy life things happened, and decided I needed to leave a domestic violence situation. And at that point in time, my life kind of fell apart. And I don't want to say it kind of fell apart. It fell apart. My life fell apart. Everyone around me said, you need to drop out of school. Because we think you need to drop out of school because you have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old that depend on you. How are you going to go to school? 40 hours. My classes were 40 hours because it was grad school. It was chiropractic school. It wasn't 15 credit hours like undergrad. It was 40 hours, between 30 and 40 credit hours. Plus my drive time, which is 1 hour each way. Everyone encouraged me to drop out of school. And I could see why, because it would have been the easier thing to do. Instead of doing that, I made a decision, May 21st, 2002, that I made this decision with my heart and with my soul that I was not going to quit no matter what. I didn't care if it took me 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years to get my doctorate, but I knew that I had made this heart and soul choice that not only was I going to not do what everyone else said that I should be doing, and maybe it was partly rebellion. It was that rebellion, resilient rebellion switch that got turned on inside of me. I decided and committed from that day forward that not only would I actually do the opposite of what everyone thought I should do, which was to quit, I was going to succeed and I was going to blow it out of the water. Not for me and my ego. It wasn't about that. For my daughters, for my daughter's future, and for the future of all of you who are sitting here on this live video today, because I would not be here live in front of you today if I had not decided on May 21st, 2002, 14 years ago that my life was going to be different, and I committed to that wholeheartedly. The journey, the following 2.5 years after that were not easy. And I got kicked. I got knocked down. I got skinned knees. I was like, emotionally bleeding, like sometimes. It wasn't easy, but I made a commitment to you, to you all, to the people that need to hear this message, to the people that are trying to be a light in the world and make an impact. That's why I'm here. And sometimes, we get impatient and we think, why haven't the results happened? I've been doing this for 6 months. I've been doing this a year. I've been doing this 2 years. The fact is, thanks for the hearts, Debbie. The fact is, it's taken me 14 years to get to this place in this time right now, to be sitting here in front of you with the confidence that I have. And do I still experience self-doubt? Yes. Do I still need to practice being resilient? Yes. I still need to practice all that. I'm as much of a student as I am a teacher. And I think that's what a good leader does. I think a good leader constantly learns so that we can constantly keep giving to the people that we're meant to give to. And so that's why resilience is important. You may not see the results of your efforts right away. There were times when I wanted to give up. It would have been easier to quit. Throughout those next 2.5 years of my divorce and then trying to finish school, I ended up graduating with honors. And as a result of that, not only has this impacted my daughters' lives, because their future is so much different than it would have been had I stayed, but they have seen me lead by example through being resilient. And they are resilient human beings. They know how to bounce back. They know that if they break a fingernail, it's not the end of the world. And that's why this message is important. That's why your success is important. And the way that you get there is by learning how to be more resilient. So, with that being said, I am going to be diving deeper into this topic Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time, in a webinar that I'm going to be giving on the Zoom platform. I will post the link on my page. I'll have the link for you. If you want to sign up and register for it and get the framework that we're going to be talking about on the webinar, then all you have to do is go to my website. It's amycanada.com/RR. Grab a copy of the workbook. And it's basically the Relentlessly Resilient workbook. We're going to be talking about it. We're going to be working through it on the webinar. It's kind of like a workshop. It's not really a webinar. It's more like, I guess it's more like a workshop. I should stop calling it a webinar. It's a workshop. It's going to be hands-on learning. It's not just going to be me talking. You're actually going to be getting something out of it. We're going to dive in really quickly, deeply in the workshop. And so if you want in on that, I will send out the details to you as far as the Zoom link and all that. All you have to do is go to the website, amycanada.com/RR, get the download so that you have it for the webinar. Print it out, have it. We're going to be writing in it. We're going to be diving into the dream framework. I am really super excited to bring this to you. I've been working really hard on it for the last year, trying to figure out how am I going to teach resilience? How am I going to teach this stuff? Because I want to teach it because I think it's really important and it's going to make a big impact in the world. So if you haven't done it and you want to be on the webinar, and we're going to be talking all about this, diving in deeper, you got the D today. If you want more, then you can go get the dream framework, download it on my website. And I will be posting the link to the Zoom chat room, the Zoom meeting room, so that you all can join, whoever wants to join and learn more about this and hear me teach on this topic. I'm excited. I'm really excited and a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie, because I've taught this before, but I haven't taught it in this large of a group before. So I am excited and a little nervous, but I know you're gonna get, one thing I know is you're gonna get a lot out of it, because the first time I taught it, I had 6 people on the call, and all the feedback I got was that they were totally blown away. So it's Relentless Resilience. It's a guide and workbook. It's called Different Questions, Different Answers, Greater Results, because I believe part of the resiliency, learning how to be more resilient, is about the questions that you ask yourself. So that's what we're going to talk about on Wednesday's workshop/webinar. And if you're just joining live, go back and watch the replay of this. It's filled with a whole bunch of good nuggets today. And I just want to tell you all to just keep shining your light out there. And we're all in this together. You're not alone. And I look forward to seeing you on the webinar. I can't wait. So it's Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. If you haven't already signed up for it, all you have to do is go to my website, amykanata.com/RR, get the workbook, download it so that you have it for the webinar, because the webinar is actually going to be a workshop. It's actually more of a workshop than a webinar. It's not going to be like a boring webinar where I just talk and show slides. No, we're going to be diving in. You're going to see me live. We're going to be interacting. I'm going to be asking you questions. I'm going to be getting you going, getting you diving in, and I'm excited. So hopefully we can keep it all packed into 45 minutes. I'm going to do it. It's going to be 45 minutes with 15 minutes of Q&A if you have Q&A for me at the end. And it's going to be a lot to cover, but it's going to be great. So I'm excited. I hope I can see you all there, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Monday.